Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Feel free to join me in chanting the Vandanati Sarana, followed by community reading of the Three Treasures. And then we'll chant the Sutra Sambutsuge. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammam sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namu Kie Butsu. Namu Kie Hom. Namu Kie Som. Three Treasures 1. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony and a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we're able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Sambutsuge. Kogen 一願魔に修行権女開始のんぺ有脈十目如来予言調整無輪小学大音コル実法開門精進三昧知恵意徳無量修正慶右人体年々小仏法開具人人の空語外界無明欲ぬ生存用無人の死死人徳無量空君広大知恵人妙光明一層神道大仙願が差仏在小法華道生じ未不下段不正上位解任精進如是三昧知恵以上五世特仏不合志願一切空空一切大安慶始有仏百年6万無量大小修行五者不要一切使徒小仏不尿具道検証不逆非尿五者小仏世界部不可け無種仙道光明師匠変師匠国尿税精進陰人難量両が差分国土第一号種奇妙道場小絶国尿内音二無闘争がと愛民道達二歳実法来生陳熱症状意図が国経楽安穏公文人女是が心象本願の日力少々薬実法生存知恵無下上量子孫知が信行軽量心死食毒中が行精進人寿不軽ナマンダブナマンダブナマ Namandav, 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 Namandav. Thank you everyone for coming this morning. It's nice to see your faces. I'd like to start the next portion of our service with my Dharma talk. So give me just a moment and I'll share the screen so you can see the presentation that I put together. Okay, if you'll please join me in Gassho, I'd like to share words from our founder, Shinran Shonin. Practice in this world of the 5 defilements is full of regressions. Nothing can equal saying the Nembutsu and going to the West. Once there, we naturally realize perfect enlightenment. Returning to the world of suffering, one becomes a bridge for others. When, in this world, a person says the name of the Buddha, in the Western land, a lotus immediately rises. If only such persons do not regress, but say the name constantly all their lives, those flowers come here among us to welcome them. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namandav, 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 Namandav. The Gosandai for today's Dharma talk comes from our founder, Venerable Shinran's magnum opus, the Kyogyo Shinsho, in the chapter on practice. Here, he quotes Pure Land Master Fa Chao's hymns according to the Amida Sutra. Shinran is pointing out that whatever we do as Buddhists can be difficult in decentering our ego-centered self, and that by calling the name of Amida Buddha and saying Namo Amida Butsu, we will be born in Amida's pure land of bliss. When we realize there, we will realize perfect enlightenment as Buddha, thereby bridging the gap between our foolish selves and ultimate truth. By saying Namo Amida Butsu, Buddha begins to work in our lives through dynamic wisdom and compassion, expressed in the blossoming of a lotus in the Pure Land, which comes here to welcome us. This image of the lotus is a powerful one across all Buddhisms, and it represents our growth through the muddy waters of life, which are our difficulties, our attachments, our struggles, and ultimately the blossoming of wisdom and compassion within our lives. So, in Jodo Shinshu, our lives unfold as an expansion of our awareness in both a deepening understanding of ourselves and also, equally important, a deepening understanding of our relationships to others and how we relate to them. We might see this maturity and blossoming as a cultivation of empathy and compassion that grows inside us during our lifetimes. Saying the name of Buddha involves both a profound reflection on who we are as individuals, and just as importantly, a deep understanding of our communities and the roles that we play in those communities, of family, of friends, of coworkers, and also even our rivals or our enemies. The blossoming of the lotus flower is important because it represents our own growth and maturity. It also represents the guidance of Buddha, which manifests as the wisdom and understanding of other people and the communities in our lives. Sometimes this growth is painful and difficult, and at other times it's joyful and rewarding. But in both of these extremes, and all the places in between, there's a growth and a maturity, and this is the result of practice. Both the practice done on our own part by seeking a deeper understanding of life, and also the practice of Amida Buddha in revealing the depth and complexity of life. That's the blossoming of flowers, revealing both the joy and sadness of our existence in the community of the world. So now, as a part of my Dharma talk, I'd like to share a traditional Okinawan folk song called Hana, which means flower, performed by the vocalist Natsukawa Rimi. I'd like to share a video of her performance of the song, if that's okay. And then I'd like to share my own translation of the lyrics from Japanese to English. So give me just a moment and I'll pull up the YouTube video. I hope you like the song. I'd like to share my translation of the lyrics now into English. If you'd like to read along with me, feel free to do so. So the song again is called Hana, performed by Natsukawa Rimi. And the lyrics go like this. Rivers flow, but where are they going? Also, people flow, but where are they going? This current and its destination is where we long for flowers to open and bloom. Please feel free to cry and to laugh, for we will welcome our flowers that bloom on that day. Tears flow, but where are they going? Love also flows, but where is it going? This current flows within me, where I long for flowers to bloom and to open. I will feel free to cry and to laugh, for I welcome my flowers that bloom on that day. Flowers reveal laughter and joy, and people may cry as their tears flow. This is life's natural song inside our hearts. Flowers will bloom. Please feel free to cry and to laugh, for we will also gather flowers that bloom on that day. I will feel free to cry and to laugh, for I will also gather flowers that bloom on that day. Translating this song was kind of difficult because in the original Japanese there's a lot of beautiful poetry that's conveyed that's really difficult to translate into English. But I feel like this song really conveys a lot of the complexity of our lives and sort of what it's like to deepen our own spiritual practice when we say Nembutsu, because we realize that life isn't always happy, but it's also not always sad. There's a deep, profound sense of maturity that comes from this song, of recognizing that when we experience sadness and when we experience joy, those extremes nourish our own hearts and help us to grow. And that's represented in the opening and blossoming of the flowers. So I'd like to close my Dharma message today with reading the words of Shinran once more. If you please join me in Gassho. Practice in this world of the 5 defilements is full of regressions. Nothing can equal saying the Nembutsu and going to the West. Once there, one naturally realizes perfect enlightenment. Returning to the world of suffering, one becomes a bridge for others. When, in this world, a person says the name of the Buddha, in the Western land, a lotus immediately rises. If only such persons do not regress, but say the name constantly all their lives, those flowers come here among us to welcome them. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandao, 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 namandao. So I'd like to thank you for coming to today's service. I'd like to thank the Buddhist Temple of Marin for their support, and I hope you'll hang around for a few minutes after I end the recording so we can chat.